Hey, it's Nathan with optionsforl.com. In this video, we're going to go over the long strangle. I'm going to do a definition or an explanation of what a long strangle is, and then we'll hop over to Robinhood and Robinhood Legend, and I'll show you how to actually set up a long strangle trade. Let's go to our handy dandy cheat sheet real quick, link in the description down below. So what we're looking at is the long strangle. It is a straddle/strangle category. This is a debit trade, meaning that you have to spend money in order to open this particular trade. They say it's a neutral bias, but really you need the underlying asset to either go way up real fast or way down real fast. You don't want it to actually stay flat or neutral. You really need a big move up or down. It doesn't matter which way it goes, but you're expecting a big move if you want to do this type of trade. And to open the trade, you're buying to open one put at a strike price and buying to open one call at a strike price, and the put strike price is less than the call strike price. And to close or exit the trade, you just do the opposite action. Sell to close your call option. Now let's do a little bit more explanation. What is a long strangle? A long strangle is a non-directional option strategy that profits if a stock makes a big move. So it needs to make a big move either up or down. You don't care, but you don't want it to stay flat. Even though they call it a neutral strategy, you need a big move up or down. So what you're doing is you're buying two options with the same expiration. You buy an out of the money call, you're betting on a big move up, and you buy an out of the money put, betting on a big move down. You pay a debit to enter, and you're basically saying, I don't know the direction, I just need volatility, or I need a big move. Now the pros of a long strangle is unlimited upside on the call side if the stock rallies hard, and strong downside profit potential if the stock dumps. It's non-directional, so you don't have to pick whether you're bullish or bearish on it. It's a simple structure and easy to understand your risk. The cons, you need a big move to overcome the cost of both options, and time decay hurts. If the stock sits still, both options lose value. Volatility crush risk. So if implied volatility drops after you buy, the position can lose even without price moving. And finally, profit can be harder to achieve than people expect because you're paying for two options. So you're basically doubling up how much you're spending, which raises or lowers your break-even point, which you'll see in just a second when we go to Robinhood. So some simple math and example. So key math, max loss is a total debit paid. So you know going into the trade the most you can possibly lose, which is the cost of the call plus the cost of the put. Your upper break even is the call strike plus the total debit, and your lower break even is the put strike minus your total debit. Now we get into an example. So the stock is at $100. You buy the 105 call for $2.50, the 95 put for $2. Your total debit then is $4.50. You got your break even, so your upper break even is $109.50. That means you need the price of the stock to go to $109.50 before you start making some money. And the lower break even is $90.50, meaning that you need the price of the stock to go below $90.50 before you start making some money. So what that means, if the stock finishes between 95 and 105, both options expire worthless. You lose your max $4.50. If the stock finishes above $109.50, the call side is profitable, so your entire trade will ultimately be profitable. If it finishes below 90.50, the push side is profitable and your entire trade is profitable. If it finishes between 95 and 90.50 or 105 and 109.50, you will still lose money, but you won't lose the max $4.50. A few profit examples. The stock ends at 120. Your call is then worth 120 minus 105, which gets you a $15 profit. And then you got to subtract out your debit. So you wind up with a $10.50 profit. And another example, the stock drops. So the stock drops down to $85. Your put is worth the 95 minus 85 is $10 profit, and then you got to subtract out your $4.50 debit. Gets you a $5.50 profit. Hop on down to the optimal times. A long strangle works best when you expect a big move soon and the options you're buying are not overpriced. So good time to consider a long strangle before a known catalyst that could cause a sharp move but with uncertain direction. So for example, earnings, FDA decisions, major economic reports, Fed announcements, product launches, lawsuits, and merger news. Also when implied volatility is relatively low compared to the stock's history. If IV is low, options are cheaper, so you don't need as massive a move to break even. Now, when you think the market is underpricing the potential move, in other words, you believe the stock could move more than the expected move priced into options. Another item to consider is when there's enough time for the move to happen. Many traders like Strangles in the 20 to 60 days to expiration window because too short, theta decay hits fast. Too long, you may overpay for time you don't need. And finally, another good time is right after volatility has been crushed and you think it's about to expand again. For example, after a quiet period or consolidation, when a breakout feels likely, so when those Bollinger Bands start getting tighter and tighter and tighter, it could be a good time to put in a long strangle. Some times to avoid: when implied volatility is already very high, options are already expensive. Right after a big event has passed, so volatility has already dropped. And finally, in a slow drifting market with no reason to expect a breakout. So if you're not expecting something big to happen, it's probably not a good time to put on a long strangle. Now, a quick summary: a long strangle is buying an out of the money call and an out of the money put to bet on a big move either way. Max loss is what you pay, and you profit only if price breaks beyond your break evens. All right, let's go over to Robinhood and set up one of these trades. So I'm going to go to IBIT, which is the BlackRock iShares Bitcoin Trust ETF. Bitcoin is quite volatile, and I'm expecting a big move relatively soon. So we're going to come over to trade IBIT options, and I'm probably going to move out to about a 30-day window. I think by New Year's, we'll go December 31st, New Year's Eve, 39 days from now. I expect Bitcoin to do something. It's either going to go way up or way down as we welcome in the new year. I'm going to go ahead and buy my call option first. So I'm on buy and call. And I want to look, and we're going to assume that I did some analysis, and I believe that the IBIT ETF is going to go past a certain point prior to my expiration date of 31 December. So let's say that, I think the price is going to go well past $60. And so that's kind of like the break even that I'm aiming for. So I'm going to start with the $58 strike price real quick. So we're going to add that to our order, because our break even right here would be $58.80. And you can see that right here. Robinhood gives you the numbers. Break even is $58.80. And I also have to buy my put option as well. And so I'm going to have to cover that expense as well if I think it's going to go past $60. So let me switch over to the put side, and we'll come on down here. And I think it might go past the $36 mark right here. So I'm going to go ahead and buy the $38 put. So we'll buy that option right there. And now we can see our entire trade. We see that Robinhood calls it the long strangle. So that's good that it's calling it the same thing we thought we were setting up. We're buying the 58 call, and we're buying the 38 put. We can see this little table down here where we would experience the maximum loss between our two strike prices. So we got the $38 put down here, and we have the $58 call over here. So between that range, we experience max loss, and our max loss is $154. So we needed to go beyond our break even points before we start making money. And you can see the break even points right here. We have the 59.54. So that is less than where we think IBIT may go. We think it'll go at least to 60, if not way beyond. And that's where I can start making a lot of money, and it can go up to infinity, or unlimited money could be made right here. And then to the downside, our break even is 36.46. So we need the price of IBIT to drop below 36.46 in order for us to start making money. And we think it'll at least go to $36. So that is our long strangle right there. And we're just waiting for a big move in IBIT in order to go ahead and capitalize on that trade. Now let me flip over to Robinhood Legend, and I'll show you how to set up the trade over there. So let me come to my options chain, and I want to go to our December 31st date right here, and I'm going to buy my call first. So I'm on the call side, and we want to look for our $58 strike price that we set up as previously, and we're buying the option. So we're on the ask side, or the green numbers, and we want to go ahead and buy our call option. And then we're going to come over to the put side, and we're going to come on down here and buy our put. And we were buying the $38 put in our example. So we're going to go ahead and click the green numbers on the ask side because we were buying. And there we go. Here's our order. So the IBIT long strangle. We can see that we're buying the $58 call and the $38 put. We could change the quantity that we want to go ahead and buy. We have our maximum profit is unlimited profit. Max loss is $770, and that's because I bumped up my quantity of contracts to 5. If we lowered it back down to 1, you'd see that the max loss is $154. And there's our break-even prices where we need the price of IBIT to go by December 31st. And I could go ahead and click on submit order if I was ready to process this order. And so that's it for the long strangle. Pretty simple one to understand. And you want to do it when you're expecting a major move. And even though it's called a neutral strategy, you only put this trade on if you're expecting a major move either to the upside or downside. You don't want the stock staying flat, or otherwise you'll lose. And of course, the closer to the current price that you buy the options at, the greater the chance of profitability. but also the more expensive the options are as well. So if I bought the $47 put for $3.10 and the $51 call for $2.43, you can see that my cost went way up to $550 nearly. However, my break evens are much more narrower. So I don't need quite as big a move, but it costs more money up front, and you could lose more money if, you know, the price doesn't move and it stays flat. So I just wanted to point that out real quick. Of course, it's up to you for your risk reward profile and how you prefer to trade. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, I appreciate any sorts of likes, comments, subscribes, and I hope you have a great rest of the day.